Hey everybody, this week we're going to take a look at chapter 7 in your book, which is about advertising. Obviously, broadcast production is about producing something, but you have to think about how it's going to be sold, how it's going to be marketed, what's the best way to get people interested in your production, and all that is often played out within advertising, right? Which uses actual production material most of the time. So when you think about advertising in general, whether it's on radio or television, it involves the same kind of production techniques that you're going to use in all areas of broadcast production, right? But it does have a different kind of preparation. So this chapter deals exclusively with how to approach an advertising project rather than strictly a narrative project. We're going to think of it as an advertising project related to your narrative project, right? On pages 38 and 39 of your book, it's also in your ebook, it's part 1.7. There are 12 basic types of advertising, as described by Donald Gunn, who's an advertising expert that's referenced. In the quiz this week, you're going to match the ad type with a linked commercial. You can only take it once. Actually, I'm going to make it so you can take it more than once, but take it seriously and really use your book as your resource, right? You can search for 12 types of advertising and find online resources. It's a pretty common conceit. It's going to be all about taking certain types, definitions, word choices, and applying them to actual product, right? So the reason I want you to do this is because being aware of the different kinds of ads that are used in the world is key to understanding not only how they work, but what kinds would work the best for your ads. If you should get into advertising your project or your production, or just get into advertising in general, which is very much based in broadcast production, right? So this quiz is going to help you hone those broadcast production knowledge by asking you to apply your critical thinking skills to differentiate between the 12 types of advertising discussed in your book. So it's not, you have to take the information and apply it, right? So I hope you'll get a lot out of it. When you're thinking about crafting an ad, there are three major areas that always should be addressed, right? What is your product? What is the message? And who is the target audience? So all successful ads grow from a strong understanding of these three areas of information specific to whatever it is you're selling, right? They also inform each other, these three areas. For instance, the message of your ad is going to depend on the target audience and vice versa. So you have to be clear and focused about these three things before you start to approach anything like this. Your book talks about how important it is to have a consumer profile. It's an essential tool. It's vital that everyone involved have a clear idea of just who it is they're targeting, right? Who is this ad for? On the next slide, there's some questions you might want to ask yourself when you create a consumer profile for an ad. Also, this is in your book and on the book's website. Who are they? What kind of person are you talking to? What do they do? Where do they live? Who do they live with? What do they like to do? How do they shop? Once you've thought about those things and you've decided what you want to say and who you want to say it to, then you're going to decide how you're going to say it. So your book offers lots of insight into different aspects that go into ads for TV and radio, including writing copy and crafting slogans and using music effects and voiceover. It's definitely well worth a read, so I hope that you do. Too much to go into in a PowerPoint, and we would do it in a real class. We would talk about it in class. So please read the book. For our board discussion, I'm going to ask you to come up with the basis for one commercial for our class TV project. It's going to be a 30-second TV ad. So I'm going to ask you to come up with these ideas to supplement the research you've already done, right? What will we see during the ad? What is it going to visually look like? What are we going to hear? This could be actual dialogue from the show, a voiceover announcement, a combination of both, something else even if you come up with it. But what are we going to hear? And there should be a slogan, a catchphrase, or a hook. What is going to be the slogan of the commercial that you hope will make the viewer remember the show? As always, I put a sample one in there from a past semester to get you started. But think about the best way to sell, promote, market our class TV project to its intended audience. All right, thanks a lot. I'll see you on the boards.